it seems like at least from the outside looking in, it seems like the individual parts should be better than the whole. Like, I feel like there's a lot of talent on that team. And even 3 weeks ago, it felt like that wasn't fitting. Although now we may be in a little bit of a different place where it's like, nah, it's kind of coming now. But even just a few weeks ago, it was just like, why aren't they? And definitely the second half of last year was like, why aren't you better with the individual players that you have?
And even like most of last year, even when they were so good record wise, like the numbers under the hood were not as kind. They were winning a lot of close games that they didn't necessarily deserve to win. And so like the regression was coming, even if it was not supposed to be as apocalyptic as the end of season collapse was. And I do think like the start of the season, I totally agree with you that the team was not as good as it should have been talent-wise. And to be fair, given the fact that they had two new coordinators on both sides of the ball, we probably should have been a little bit more patient. But I don't think, there's no patient in Philadelphia. So we're not surprised that didn't actually come. But like on defense, for instance, they have all of these young parts and a brand new coordinator in Vic Fangio and like new position coaches all over the place. And it does seem like things are coalescing a little bit. Now, they have played a relatively light schedule of opposing offenses. Cincinnati last week was a good test, and they performed well. And the first like 7 possessions of this game for the Jaguars was like 6 plays, 3 plays, 3 plays, 1 play, 3 play, 3 play. Like they were dominating. The Jaguars could not move the ball. And so I think there is real optimism for the defense because they have been relatively healthy. They're young, and it does seem like they are getting better. On offense, if A.J. Brown misses time, that's going to be a real test because they have not been an elite offense when they don't have A.J. Brown. Saquon Barkley has been like way better than I could have expected. He looks awesome and makes plays every game that are like I haven't seen an Eagles running back do that since LaShawn McCoy, who was inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame at halftime today. So it was kind of a nice little handoff to Saquon, who had 199 yards from scrimmage in this game. That said, like, Saquon has had a lot of work. He had 27 carries in this game. That's part of the reason that I think it was frustrating for Eagles fans because they were up 22 points in the third quarter. It looked like they could put their guys on ice in the fourth quarter, and then they had to scratch and claw just to come away with a win by the skin of their teeth. But I think big picture, with the Cowboys up next and then the Commanders after that, like we'll find out a little bit if they're really, really for real.
Good luck. You got a juggernaut bearing down on you next week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Henry. Yeah, interrogate Bo about his football team.
The Eagles are not. Yeah, they're not good in Dallas or Arlington.
Where were you going, Henry? Where were you going?
Well, as an outsider, first of all, you'd be crazy not to be scared of the Eagles. Like, there's so much talent that if it does click, then they're going to be great. But they really remind me of the Ravens. And maybe that's just because the Ravens are kind of on my mind, having just played them today. But just so much of how they're built, with just that overwhelming offensive talent that should be able to put up big numbers against absolutely anybody. The changes on defense where, I think there's more talent than you're seeing in terms of the results, but with a new coordinator, with new systems, those sorts of things take time. Then you even throw in like Ravens get Derrick Henry, Eagles get Saquon Barkley, both incredible, but neither team really, I would say, is living up to expectations. I think what are the Eagles now? 6-3. Like it's not like it's bad, but 6-2, yeah. But still, the vibes just aren't quite where you would think they would be. I guess some of that is you wind up having to pay guys who make a Super Bowl run and you lose some of that depth, like a defensive line and even offensive line, but up through the middle on the defense in particular. Like, they aren't probably what they used to be, and I'm not sure that they can get back to that, where every single week they go out there and you just say, this is going to be a dominant football team that should win this game easily. But they're very much competitive. Like, there really shouldn't be a week where they don't have a chance, and in the NFL, that's kind of all you can ask for, I feel like.
We all silly like the mayor.